This is DWBS Sports. DWBS Sports, it's your favorite show. DWBS Sports, where degenerates go. DWBS Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Haldeman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. That's a great start. Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Daily. It's my third show today, Papa Dude. Give me a break, but we're back. It's a big week. We're back. We're in a different time slot. I kind of like it though. Back at night here, at least late evening. All right, what's up? How's it going?
I'm wore out. I had to sub today, and if my voice goes out, that's the reason. When you substitute teach, you talk a little louder than you do when you regularly teach. But it was good. I had some kids that I had when they were 7th and 8th graders. They're juniors now. It was fun to have them back again. So it went well, but I probably will be a little hoarse throughout the show tonight.
Yeah, it's always good to go back and see some of those kids that you hadn't seen in a while. And yeah, listen, I'll be real honest. I don't think I've quite recovered from last weekend yet either. My voice hasn't been that great. I've been really tired. I've been sleeping early, so it's still a dream. I feel like what happened with Oklahoma, and I guess I will start. We got to eat a little bit of crow because neither one of us picked Oklahoma, even with the spread, and they get it done. So
it was a great game, and they played great. To me, they proved everything we wanted to see. I'm not sure they're better than Texas. I think Texas is very, very good. Yeah. And they could have deserved to win just as well. They didn't, and that's great. But we wanted to see if they could go compete with a really good team and not back down when the going got tough. At least that's what I wanted answered. Yep. I wanted to see if they could stare adversity right in the face and not quit like they did last year. I don't want to say quit, but just not have enough to win. Yeah. Like they did last year. That was my number one concern going into that because, we really hadn't played anybody. Yeah. And it's really good. And Texas has. And, they had 2 marquee wins. And so we knew they were battle tested, and we just didn't know if OU could stand in there and go toe-to-toe with them. And in the trenches, they held up. And that's a sign that they're pretty good. I don't think we're all the way back yet, but we're getting there, and dang proud of that one. That was a great win.
It was a great win.
Reasons.
Yeah, great win for sure. I went into the game thinking, you would have to win it something like 27-24.
It was close.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought process going into the game. I want to make a few points. I picked Texas to win that game 37-27. I just kind of thought that's how it would go. I thought we'd play better, but, wouldn't have enough. But, the game's sitting there at 2017. We're up at the half, and I'm just like, I think we got a shot, but I still wasn't sold. To take the opening drive and go right down the field, make it 27-17, I thought that was the first time I thought we had a shot to win it. Yeah. I also, the second time I thought we were going to win the game with the goal line staying there. I mean, score was 27-20. That's just not something I thought we were capable of doing. To 4 plays at the 1-yard line and stopping them was just. Yeah.
I don't care how good you are. That doesn't happen.
Yeah,
very much.
No, that was incredible to get that stop. So that was huge. And look, I mean, end of the day, minute 17 on the clock. We're behind 30-27, and you're sitting there going, "Well, we did a great job. We just weren't good enough to finish it off." Blew some chances, missed a field goal, had a chance to respond, was 27-27, went 3 and out, didn't look very good. And then to just take it right down the field. That's just stuff I didn't think this team would be capable of doing. And they answered the call when they had to answer it.
They did, because we watched all this last year. These were the type of games and the way we lost them last year, only this team was much better. And that's why we could accept losing a close game, I think. If I'm not mistaken, after that goal line stand is when they drove the ball down the field and missed the field goal.
Yeah, so after the goal line stand, that first run, they got 11 yards. They got some breathing room. They kept kind of chipping away, and then Gabriel broke a huge run down to the 32, and then, they missed a field goal from there. So,
and that's when I thought, and it looked like it was going to happen, I thought when they missed the field goal, they were in big trouble.
Yeah, you always meet new people when you go on the road to watch a game, and we looked at some of the friends that we'd made in the stands, and we
You
just
will never see again.
no, we'll never see again. We just kind of looked at each other like we're in big trouble. We're in big trouble because that was with 6 minutes left. We could have made it 30-20,
right?
And you knew Texas was going to score. They're just too dang good.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened is OU said, "Okay, front four, it's on you to give pressure. We're challenging you. You got to do it," and they did it. But then they got extremely tired, and in the late third quarter, fourth quarter, they couldn't get any pressure, and then all of a sudden, if you don't get pressure on Texas, you can't stop them because their weapons are just too dang good. So all of a sudden you're in big trouble. Sacked up, got that big stop, forced that field goal, which was huge. Did get a sack from that front four, and then like I said, the drive. You went from thinking, well, they'll probably go down and miss a field goal to Stoops is at the 20 after 3 plays on a great play by Gabriel and Stoops, and you're like, they're going to win. I really believe then. I've seen this. They're going to win this game.
Yeah.
So it was unreal.
And Dylan Gabriel was fantastic. Just made every play there was. And
I think Dylan deserves you can't give him enough credit. He was just fantastic. I know you're not going to like this, but the way they schemed up to get him running the ball, I thought was a monster key in the game.
Yeah, and this is another thing, comparing last year to this year, they couldn't run him last year because they had no depth.
Yeah,
they may have won another game or two if that had been part of their offense, but now they have a 5-star quarterback behind him that obviously they have some faith in, and they didn't have that last year.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
Yes, Curtis, that is a Josh Heupel jersey, which will forever be on my wall. That's right. For sure.
That's Curtis. That is those are I wore those jerseys when I was in high school. That's Josh Heupel over to the left and Rocky Kalmus over to the right. 2 jerseys that I wore all through my high school. So now hanging up on the wall there.
That's right.
Two of the legends, and
they are.
Some kid right now that's in high school, big OU fans. You know what jersey they got? They unbelievably number 8 is up on up on somebody's wall right now.
Yeah, that jersey has sold really well, and I got a feeling number 12 is selling really well in Norman, Oklahoma as well.
Yeah, that's a Stoops' number, who just makes play after play after play. Danny Setzman, 28, also.
Yeah, that's another one. Thing about Stoops, I'll never forget the first time we saw him.
Yeah.
And there was a blowout game, and he got in the game the first year he was a freshman. We thought, well, it's all because of who he is.
Yeah.
And he's turned into a guy who I wish could play forever, because we are going to miss this guy. He is clutch. He is the toughest pound-for-pound guy I think I've ever seen. He is not very big, but he just takes hit after hit, bounces up, catches almost everything. And runs perfect routes. A great blocker. He's just a great player.
And on the final drive, they complete 4 passes. 2 of them are to him. The biggest one other than touchdown, goes to Drake. And
no doubt.
Dylan says on the last play, or the play, not the last offensive play, our first read was Drake. They're trying to get the ball to Drake. Drake draws the double team. Austin Stogner draws the double team, and there's not Rodney, but Nick Anderson standing right there. That final play, from my vantage point, saw the pressure coming, saw him just throw it. I thought, okay, throw it away. Good job, Dylan. You didn't take a sack.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you scan down the field, and there's Nick standing there wide open.
That's right.
This is freaking believable.
And some of the video that people have shot that I've seen, I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah.
The final play was awesome. Just there's some video. If you're an OU fan, it's been heaven these last 3 or 4 days. Going on YouTube and Twitter and watching all the videos. And
I told you before I got on the air, I said it feels like that was just a dream that it didn't happen. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Yeah, it's been
the
great.
Bad part is there's a very good chance we're probably going to have to do this again. And I'm already dreading that one.
Well, like I said, for an OU fan that took the lumps, and really for OU fans that were kidding themselves, ever think they're going to do anything under Riley, it for the first time in a while, probably since Baker's last year, I feel like Oklahoma's going in the right direction, and that's the best news of all. If we lose, it's whatever. But this from this thing right now to what this thing was at this time last year,
oh my God,
absolutely incredible. And yeah, Curtis, to kind of we got to move on from, we got to move on, and we go to this week. But I thought that was a huge key right there. Texas could not stop Dylan Gabriel on the ground. He gashed him.
Well, that was the difference.
Rusher in the football game. Unbelievable.
That was the difference.
Yeah,
definitely.
It was a difference. Yeah, Kurzell said, imagine if you showed a picture of Josh Heupel today. You have no idea who he is. You try to explain that he almost and probably should have won the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, Heupel is one of those guys that doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah.
Now, Bob Stoops gives him all the credit you want to hear.
Yeah.
He is a OU legend and mainly the guy responsible for reviving OU football. Him and Stoops and the great coaching staff. Yeah. His ability to win games any other way you could. And he was the guts of that team. And this team this year reminds me so much of that 2000 team. So far.
It's a ragtag bunch. And they're just it reminded me a lot of a team that was just that close until that last drive. And I thought, you know what? This team, they've got a little bit of moxie. You can't do that if you don't. So, that was very good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's Roddy says, you know who the other Big 12 team is that is undefeated? Yeah, West Virginia.
That's right.
West Virginia. So we'll see.
And
They're
we're not scared of them. In fact, I'm not sure they're going to beat Houston tonight.
Yeah. I think West Virginia playing it. They're going to actually probably kicked off already. They're going to play over at Houston tonight. They're 3-point favorites. If you want to get in on them. West Virginia, the only other undefeated team in the conference right now. As far as conference record, they did lose to Penn State first game. So
yeah, that's not a bad loss.
Yeah, Jason White, another one. He's talking about Heupel and Jason White. Pretty good back-to-back there for OU.
Not too bad.
It wasn't really back-to-back. Nate Hibble was there because Jason got hurt. But, not bad at all.
We've had some good ones.
It hasn't been too terrible until last year, but it was just 1 year. Now we're back. And so I told Ricky after the game, I said, boy, it's good to be back. He's like, you left for 1 year.
That's true. It seems like an eternity. Let me ask you this before we move on. We probably ought to just move on. Am I crazy to say that I think the offense last year is better than the one this year? We had a running back last year that you could go to.
I think the offense is a little better on third downs. I think they're a little better at picking up big plays, but I think overall, the offense was probably more explosive last year. Yeah.
I mean, it's close. It's not a marginal difference, but
I think the OU offense is a year away from being back, but I think a lot of the key guys that are going to bring that offense back to where it's just powerful are super young.
Yeah,
but I think like they got some freshman offensive linemen who are going to be really good, right? And they're starting to be good right now. They've got some freshman receivers like Dick Anderson. They're going to play big parts in this thing, but they're not there yet.
Got to get a running back, and that's an issue. They're solid, but they're not great at running back. So,
and it's funny because Nick Anderson, I'm over just all game. Like, where is this guy? Come on, you gotta get him on the field. He's electric, and he showed up at the right time.
He may not have even been in the field if Anthony hadn't got hurt.
He may not have, and they went to Anthony. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some stuff goes on down there nobody understands, but anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Kevin makes a good point. When your defense is just letting people go up and down the field, the offense has to go out there and score and score and score, and they get more possessions because they're getting the ball back.
That's true.
That's not really the case anymore. So I think it's tough. But I think the lack of a true number one running back is probably
and this is an offense that is getting better, and they may get better as the season goes along. Gabriel needed a win like this. His confidence is going to be through the roof. I would think.
We saw it against Iowa State for the first time, and I didn't think a ton of it because it was Iowa State. That was the first game where I watched him and thought, you know what? He's starting to take this over. He's starting to feel real comfortable as being the quarterback here, and I think he's definitely taking it over now.
And by the way, Iowa State's not as bad as we thought.
No, they're not.
They rolled Oklahoma State, which
Yep.
is better than we thought.
Yep.
Then they kicked TCU pretty good the other day.
Which TCU is a lot worse than what we
they are, but that's still, that's not a bad win that OU got over them, thumping them like they did.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. They beat them easily, and I agree with you. I think the Iowa State quarterback in time is going to be decent.
Oh, he is. Yeah,
I think he's got a little bit of something to him, and
yeah.
Okay, final one. If OU and Texas both win out, then they play each other. Are they both in the playoffs? What happens? Say Texas beats us, but we don't lose again, and they don't lose again, and we're both sitting there with one loss.
The winner of the game with one loss, which would be Texas, is in.
You don't think we'd get 2 in?
No.
Okay, I don't either.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
They're going to take Texas over us if they win that last game. That's the way it happens.
Yep.
And the other game, that's the thing. The other game won't matter. It really won't in the overall scheme of things.
Oh, it matters.
It does, but as far as the playoffs go,
as far as that goes, it doesn't. You're right.
Yeah.
But it matters though. Trust me.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it does to us, but
yeah.
A one-loss Texas team will be on a roll and have won 6 in a row.
Yeah.
And then beat an undefeated Oklahoma team. They're going to take Texas over us.
Well,
the record will be the same.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll say this though, in this crazy college football, the chances, I know you look at that schedule for both those teams and you think, well, that's going to happen. And it very well might. There's going to be stumbling blocks for both of them. I bet both of them are in 1-2 games where it gets tight and it's going to come down to the last minute, something like that.
The pressure will keep building.
Yep.
And you don't know what injuries might happen. You don't know who might get hurt. You just don't know. So you guys got to take it one day at a time, one game at a time.
Yep.
And if you can convince a team to do that, which is a lot easier said than done, if you can get them to do that and believe that, you're going to be okay. But a lot of times it's hard to convince a bunch of kids, hey, look, we're not as good as we think we are.
Yeah. Yeah. And a couple things, I keep saying a couple things before we move on. But Curtis, I don't think Brock Purdy's the same either. That kid looks great. I mean, he looks great.
He's unbelievable.
He looks great.
Nothing bothers him. The throws he made the other night.
I know.
My wife and I were sitting here saying, this guy is great.
I know. He was
just right on the numbers. Perfect spirals. Just beautiful passes.
I know. Curtis, the best teams in the ACC don't play each other. I noticed that. I was doing research. North Carolina and Florida State and Louisville, none of them play each other. Yeah. They all three could conceivably be undefeated. I don't think it'll happen, but they could.
They could.
So that's wild as well. Super conference problems, right?
Yeah.
And Big 12 not great outside of the top 2 there. So
that's true.
All right, let's go on though. We got to move on. We can't.
There's some great games this week too.
We could talk about OU and their chances and old OU players for 3 hours if we wanted to.
Definitely.
And I would enjoy it immensely.
I would too. I would love it. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun.
I mean, it would be great.
Yes.
All right, let's triple threat match for the ACC title. I love that.
Oh, I love it.
It'd be fantastic. Play it like a jamboree. One team stands at the 20, and then flip the field. All right, let's move on.
Now wait a minute. We can't have 3 because they're going to meet each other in the championship game, right?
But what I guess. No, yes, that's
they all in the same division.
No, the point. No, that's the point. These 3 teams will not play each other. Louisville does not play Florida State or North Carolina. North Carolina does not play, Florida State or Louisville. They don't play each other.
Right, but they would match up in the ACC championship.
Well, yes, but what do you do if they're all 3 undefeated? Is the point.
They can't be. One of them will have to lose the ACC championship game.
What do you do if they all 3 are undefeated before the ACC championship game?
Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
that's their problem. That's their problem.
Well, yeah,
I'm sure they have some kind of a tiebreaker, complicated type system.
Yeah,
maybe they go to the highest ranked team. That's happened before in certain leagues.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't think it's going to happen, but it'll be interesting. All right. let's get to it. Let's see if any of them are going to lose this week, perhaps. All right, here we go. Let's start off with a big one, Poppy. Georgia and Vanderbilt. This is the one we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, I didn't know where you were going with this. Let's skip this one and skip the next one while we're at it.
Yeah.
Again, I that's just one of those. You want to bet a big point spread, go ahead, but I stay away from those.
So yeah, Georgia and Michigan, they play Vanderbilt, and then Michigan's at home against Indiana. I don't think there's anything to talk about there at all. That would be the shock of the century. What about this one? Ohio State. They kind of, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I watched nothing of the early games. I just saw the scores.
Right.
I saw that Ohio State did struggle with Maryland for a little bit, but ended up easy win. Now they go to Purdue. I mean, is there anything to worry about here?
I don't think so. Just the fact that it's on the road, I think, is why it's 19.
Yeah.
I think Maryland is sneaky good. I think they're not great, but I think they're okay. And I thought they would give Ohio State a battle. Not that it took Ohio State a long time to pull away.
Yeah.
It's just if you're confident enough that Ohio State's offense is going to score enough points to cover that, because they aren't great offensively. They returned an interception for a touchdown that really turned that game around in their favor. So I'm not going to bet that because I'm not positive that their offense will cover that. That's the thing. I don't think Purdue's very good offensively, though. So I think you can find something better to bet.
Yeah, I think Ohio State will bounce back, play a little bit better. But listen, their game, and hey, okay, you look at Notre Dame game where they won. Still a good win. I'm not saying it's a bad win or anything like that. That's not nearly as impressive. They should have lost that game.
Yep.
I don't know. I think this team is dying to lose, but these shit teams they're playing in the Big Ten can't beat them.
You talk about the Big 12 being bad. You get past the top three in the Big Ten, and it's not good at all.
And I think that's the difference. They've got three that are really good. We've got two, you know. And by the way, we only have to say we about the Big 12 for 7 more games, hopefully. So that's nice as well. All right, Syracuse, they've been exposed the last 2 games. They're 17.5-point underdogs against Florida State. Who you got in this one?
I think Florida State should cover that pretty easy. Syracuse has been in back-to-back games against Clemson, which they played okay, but they not that good. And North Carolina killed them last week. How are they going to get ready to play this one? The only thing is Florida State's overlooking them. I like the Seminoles plus or minus those points. I think they're going to.
I think Seminoles get it done because they're coming off of a bye, and I think they kind of hit the reset button and said, all right, here we go. Second half of the season. Let's get it rolling, boys. And I think they're going to take care of this one pretty easy. I don't think this will be much of a game. You've been able to get Arkansas right with the points a lot this season. Now they are 19.5-point underdogs this week against Alabama.
Yep.
Any chance for the Hogs here?
Do you think Alabama might be a little flat, maybe coming off that A&M game?
Yes.
Or are they on a roll?
I don't think they're going to take Arkansas all that serious.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But then you got to look at what is going on in the locker room at Arkansas. Are they starting to believe their fans and lose faith in the coaching staff?
Mess.
I watched some of that game last week. You know, they made a good rally, got back in it, but then faded down the stretch. So 19.5 is a lot of points, again, with the team, but Alabama played tough last week. They did. The turnaround they've made in the last 2-3 weeks is really impressive. I can't take Arkansas. I can't. Not this week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think they're going to get it done, and I think there's big problems there, and I don't know how they're going to kind of get that turned around. That looks to be pretty bad.
It could be a disaster.
Could be a total disaster. Yep. Let's keep going. California goes on the road to take on Utah. Utah 11.5-point favorites coming into this one. Of course, offensively, just not great. Not great at all for Utah, but they should be able to take care of California, right?
They should. I think I would take them in this game because Cal's not very good. But when you can't score, it's always iffy. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Utes to cover.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think the Utes get it done here. I think the bye week will help them quite a bit. It is interesting, a comment of Arkansas here. KJ Jefferson hasn't improved an ounce in 3 years. That's probably true. And at the same time, they're so bad on defense that he's probably not their biggest issue, you know?
I don't think he's their biggest issue either. Their defense is terrible. It's just terrible.
It is brutally bad, and it was last year too. So, yeah, and this is kind of the thing. Sam Pittman getting fired. I mean, it certainly could happen.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also like, boy, oh boy, they were brutal before he got there. So I don't know what they'll do.
If it doesn't turn around, they're going to fire him. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I agree, but I don't know if they're going to be better off, I guess is what I'm saying. So.
Well, I've seen they're so unrealistic. I've seen some of the names are thrown out there as possible replacements. Urban Meyer, sure. Dan Lanning at Oregon was one.
Yeah, Dan Lanning's
he's going to leave Oregon to go to Arkansas. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it'd be good.
So, I mean, you're right. I don't know what they're going to get. I mean, who'd ever heard of Sam Pittman? I hadn't when they hired him.
Oh, I remember there was like I forget who it was, but 4 or 5 guys, and nobody had listed Sam Pittman. You know, then they hired him, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, he's good."
Yeah. So, yeah. And I'm not saying he's not doing a good job. It's Coach O, perfect head.
Well, hey, that's why Sam Pittman got the job. He is their Coach O.
That's true.
That seriously, when they hired him, that was the model they were thinking of. He's an Arkansas guy. He wants this job. He'll be able to recruit really well. He's a really likable guy. That's why he got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, you're right. You're not gonna get that guy. You're not gonna get Urban Meyer. I mean, you're not gonna get Dan Lanning. That's not gonna happen.
No.
All right. Not. No, let's move on. UMass goes to Penn State. That shouldn't be any problem for the Nittany Lions. So they'll go to 6-0 this week.
Yeah, no problem.
The big one is Oregon and Washington, and it's going to be a who's who here for the Pac-12 as we start to kind of separate these teams. The big teams, I mean, we've seen a sprinkling of big-time matchups, but now we're going to get into the meat of the schedule of the Pac-12, which is an excellent conference this year. Oregon goes to Washington. Washington's a 3-point favorite here at home. All right, who you got in this one?
I have no idea. I really haven't. I don't know. I think, okay, we'll go with Washington home field. Oregon plays well against Washington. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of either one of them. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think if I was going to bet it, I'd go ahead and take Oregon. I think I would, but you know, I don't know who to take. I think this is a total toss-up. I really do. I think it might even be -1 or even. I think these two teams are really similar.
I think Oregon's got a little more defense, and I think that might make the difference. I'm not sure what Washington's got on defense. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Oregon gets 1 stop more than Washington. So give me Oregon plus the 3. Really like this team. I'm not going to be shocked if Washington wins a game, though.
No.
But I think Oregon's going to win this one like a 38-34 type of win.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be a good one.
Curtis says Jeff Lebby to Arkansas. It's funny because the all the Arkansas message boards apparently have that, as my Hog fans have informed me that Jeff Lebby will be the new head coach at Arkansas at the end of the season.
See you later, Jeff. Don't bother me one bit, Curtis.
I would love it. So that would be fun.
They're not going to hire him.
I'll put it like this. I don't think they're better off if they hire him.
He's okay, but no, you got to get somebody better than that.
This is gonna be a hell of a game. If you're picking Washington, I don't blame you. You know, they're awfully good. Two great. Well, I'll say this: one great quarterback there at Washington, one quarterback that since he's been to Oregon has really looked good in Bo Nix. So it's a huge game for Bo Nix. It's a huge game for Washington too, though. So.
Yep, it's a great game.
Be a great one. We're both on Oregon. We're gonna take the underdog in this one. All right. A&M and Tennessee. I think this is a pretty tough one here. Tennessee, a 3-point favorite. You know, we've seen them kind of bounce back after that Florida game. What do you think? Are you going to take care of the Aggies today or Saturday?
I think A&M's better than I thought they would be. I thought they played tough last week. They're not good enough to beat Alabama. They're not good enough to beat Tennessee after the Alabama game either. So I'm going the Volunteers to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go Volunteers as well. I think A&M continues to be pretty overrated. So I think the Volunteers get them. Curtis says Curtis Manlow says Levy and Kiffin have serious beef. That's interesting. All right.
What's that mean?
Well, that means they don't like each other.
Really?
Yeah. And
Curtis, does anyone like Lane Kiffin? I don't think so.
What's that?
Does anyone like Lane Kiffin?
Well, I mean, I kind of like him.
Well, I mean, he's quotable and he's interesting and everything, but I don't know if he gets along real well with a lot of people.
I'll say this, and Curtis, please don't take this the wrong way. It's just with Ole Miss, I don't dislike him or anything, but I don't really watch him a lot. Or I didn't watch him a whole lot. But since they've gotten Kiffin, I watch him.
Oh yeah, he's interesting.
Yeah. I like him. So
I think he would rather have the Mississippi jobs than Arkansas.
Oh, I heard he's going to Arkansas. No. All right, let's keep going. See, and that's the thing. That'll be a rumor. Kiffin's going to Arkansas.
Well, he goes everywhere,
Right, yeah. All right, let's go on. Kansas and Oklahoma State. That's a very interesting game. Kansas back in the top 25 here. They are 5-1. They're having a nice season. They are 3-point favorites at the Jekyll and Hyde that is Oklahoma State. This is one of the more, I can't figure out who the hell they are, teams in the country. This would be a massive win for the Cowboys. Can they get it?
Sure they can. I nailed that one last week. I just knew they were going to come back.
They did.
It's Mike Gundy at his best. They look good all over the field after being just horrendous.
Yep.
It's like he got a whole new team. It was just they really played well.
Yep.
I thought Kansas played really good coming off that Texas game to kill Central Florida like they did. I don't know who to root for in this because we play Kansas the 28th, have the off week this week, and then Central Florida, and then go to Kansas. But I hate to root for Oklahoma State, but I'd like to see Kansas go down a little bit. I don't want to have to go up there when they're on a roll like they are. So this is a toughie. I think Kansas is a little better. They aren't. I don't think they have the quarterback, so that is an issue. I've got to see Oklahoma State do it again. So I'm going to take Kansas to win.
The speculation with the quarterback Jalen Daniels from Kansas is he's going to be out. You don't have an official word on that one way or the other, so keep an eye on that is how I would say it. But he is supposedly going to be out. If he's out, I think Oklahoma State wins. So,
it's possible.
And you ask, like, OU fan, who should we be rooting for right now? We need to be rooting for Jalen Daniels to come back November 4th and not October 8th.
Absolutely.
28th.
That's right.
If he comes back October 28th, that game up in Lawrence for OU is going to be really tough. If he doesn't, I think OU will beat him. So,
I do too.
So that's that. All right. Or he comes back and he just can't go. He plays one play and says, nope, I got to come out. That'd be even better. All right. Okay, the darlings of college football, other than Oklahoma last week, were the Louisville Cardinals. What a win. Just beat the hell out of Notre Dame last week. The Cardinals now 6-0. By the way, I have not seen Dennis on the chat since this game. He may, who knows? Who knows what he's been doing. But anyway.
He has texted me.
Me too. Yeah.
So he is alive.
He's alive. But anyway. The Cardinals now are favored by 7.5 at Pittsburgh. This is another game in the past. Louisville might lose, might mess up. Do you think they're going to do it this year? Or do you think this team has maybe turned the corner?
Well, Pittsburgh is awful.
They're bad.
They've got that in their favor. Or otherwise, if they were 2-3 instead of 1-4 and it showed a little bit of life, Louisville needed a bye like Oklahoma did this week. They did. That's the biggest win they've maybe ever had. 7.5. I think they're going to struggle. I really do. So I think Pittsburgh's going to keep it close, but I think Louisville's going to win by 10 late. So I'm going to go Cardinals.
I think Louisville's going to win by 3. Give me
okay.
I think they're going to cut. I think Louisville's going to win this game, But, I watched them play North Carolina State, and they were not good. I've seen them. I can't remember who they played the first game of the year. They weren't very good. I think Pitt will keep it close. I'm going to go Pitt plus the points, but I do think Louisville will get the win in the end. All right, next game here. Arizona goes on the road this weekend to take on Washington State. Washington State, a 7-point favorite. Arizona almost a program win. I mean, a big-time program win. They almost beat USC. Couldn't get it done, though. Will they be flat going up to Pullman, Washington this week?
Yes, they will be flat. I think this line should be more than 7.
Yep.
I like Washington State a bunch in this one.
Yep, I agree. Give me Washington State as well. Auburn goes on the road this week, take on LSU. LSU an 11-point favorite. They're LSU pretty good offensively, really bad defensively. What happens in this one?
Big win last week for LSU. They were behind almost that whole game at Columbia. We've been in Columbia when it's a big game, and that place was crazy, and they came from behind and beat them. I think that saved their season for sure. Easy win this week for the Tigers.
Agree. I think it'll be a good win for the Tigers. It's funny. We saw the score one time. They showed scores at the Cotton Bowl from other games one time in 4 hours of being in the stadium. Once.
Is that right?
Yes, one time. And the bad thing is there's no cell service anywhere within a mile of that fair. You can't get through. And so we didn't know the scores. The first score we saw, LSU was just getting pounded.
Yeah.
And then I saw they came back and won. Yeah.
It's a good win for them.
Yeah, that's crazy. I agree with you. I think LSU pretty easy over Auburn this weekend. All right, this is a big one. USC goes on the road to take on Notre Dame, and despite the loss last week, Notre Dame is a 3-point favorite against the Trojans. Trojans have been, one of the worst defensive teams in the country so far this year. Notre Dame's offense has been anything but explosive the last few weeks. Weird game. What do you think about this one?
I'm pretty surprised at the line. I guess everybody's just all over USC. Is Caleb Williams going to lose that game? I don't think so. I'm going USC to win.
I'll be honest what I'm doing here. I'm going to be up front with everybody. I'm picking USC to try to jinx them.
Okay, maybe I am too.
Give me USC. They should win by 20, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
The thing is, Notre Dame has been in 3 straight pressure cookers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is a season-saving game for them. But are they good enough? I don't know. It's a game where USC is going to be ready to play. I didn't think Caleb was ready to play last week. I didn't think he was ready. The way he started off offensively, it was not good.
He played bad, yeah.
Yeah, but they rebounded and won. He's going to play better this week. He's on the big stage. Give me USC.
Yeah, I agree. I think USC is going to go in there and beat them. And I think the key to the game, obviously, is, can Notre Dame's vanilla offense move the ball on USC? And the answer might be yes this week, right?
It could be.
Yeah, but they better, because they're not going to be able to hold down USC. So I'm trying to jinx them. End of the day, I think USC does win this game.
I think they're better.
I think they are too. All right, let's go and let's talk about this team, Miami. With one of the all-time losses ever in the history of the sport last week. All you got to do is take a knee, you win the game. Instead, they run the ball, fumble. Georgia Tech gets it back, and then 3 plays, scores a touchdown. Just an epic fail. By the way, this was a Georgia Tech team that lost to Bowling Green the week before. Just shows you how bad Miami played to even get in the situation. Now they go on the road to take on a team that might be starting to really be getting some serious attention. North Carolina now 5-0, up to number 12. 3-point favorites against Miami. What do you think?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I think it was Dennis asked the question when Notre Dame only had 10 men on the field for that final play. Do the players go against the coach after a play like that?
Yeah.
Now, what happened in the Miami game, you definitely can blame the coach.
Yeah.
For that one. So they could go against the coach over that gaffe. That was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how they're going to come back from that. Is just a horrible way to lose. and you didn't play well anyway. And it's a horrible game to lose. And oh yeah, you're going up to play a high-powered offense from North Carolina. Why are they only 3-point favorites? Give me the Tar Heels all day.
I'm with you. I'm with the Tar Heels. And you might be sitting here going, well, that's a fishy line. I just think
Exactly
Miami.
What I'm saying.
Well, I think Miami gets, because they're Miami, they still kind of get, overrated a little bit.
I guess. I don't see why they're in the top 25. So I guess you're right. They're barely in, but I don't think they should be in at all.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, Kevin talked about that. Caleb Williams. I think once, Kevin, I'll be honest, it was getting late when I was watching that. I think once they got through the first quarter and a half, he was fantastic. And you're right. I thought the play calling even was a little shaky for USC at times in that game. So
they were not ready. In the second half, he won the game for him for sure.
And overtime, yeah. But he did not play well in the first half of that game.
No, he was not ready to play.
Yeah, but you're right. He did make a lot of plays. And how about the play? And again, I was really late and I was super tired. The play where they kind of ran the swinging gate, where they put all the linemen over to the left, and it was a 2-point play. And it was just like, what are you doing? Just, you got Caleb Williams, just line up and run a play and get a couple of yards. I don't know what they were doing. It was bizarre. I can't remember when exactly that happened, but I thought they're going to mess around and get beat doing this stupid shit. But anyway, they didn't. All right, let's keep going. Missouri goes on the road to take on Kentucky, a couple of 5-1 teams, both coming off, depressing losses. Kentucky got blown out to Georgia. Missouri, had LSU in trouble and let them off the hook. Wildcats, 2.5-point favorites there in Lexington. I think this is sneaky. What do you think?
Oh, very tough. This is a tough game. Which team will rebound better? Kentucky's got to be just deflated by getting killed like they did. Missouri, they're used to they're used to losing games like that.
Yeah, I agree.
I kind of think they have a little more talent than Kentucky.
I agree.
But I don't know what the coaching situation. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Kentucky's well coached. They're probably going to come back. The game's at night. I want to take Missouri really bad, though. I really do. I just don't know if I can do it.
It kind of feels like Missouri's going to win spot. I agree. I'm going to take them. That feels so nasty saying that, but I'm going to take Missouri. I just feel like
I kind of think they're going to win.
I do too. All right. We got to move on before I throw up. All right. UCLA, you can tell I love Missouri. UCLA goes on the road this weekend to take on Oregon State, another one-loss teams, both of these that are pretty solid. Oregon State, 3.5-point favorite. This is a really good game. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, it is. Good bounce back for Oregon State last week.
Yeah.
I believe UCLA lost for the first time.
No, they lost 2 weeks ago. They bounced back.
They lost it at Utah, didn't they?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. This is an even game, in my opinion. I like the direction UCLA is going. I'm going to take Oregon State just because they're home. I don't know if they'll cover 3.5, though. This may be a 1 or 2 point game, but I think Oregon State's going to win.
Similar thought process. I think both of them are really similar. I think they're both good, solid teams, not great teams, going in the right direction. But I think Oregon State gets it done because they're at home. I'm with you on that one. So give me the Beavs. All right, final one. North Carolina State goes to Duke. Duke, a 3-point favorite here. I think this will be, if you like college football, I think this will be a really good game. I think they're very evenly matched. What do you think?
Two very, very good, well-coached teams. North Carolina State was on the ropes all week last week, which you probably didn't see any of it because you're down there. But Marshall gave them all they wanted last week, and they just wouldn't die. They just hung in there. And this is a team that hadn't been scoring any points. They had to score 48 to beat them, and they did. Impressive. So this is one of those teams, man, they're tough. They're well-coached. And Duke is coming off that tough loss to Notre Dame. I'm not completely sold on them. I do think they're better, and I think they're at home. So I'm going to take Duke to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if North Carolina State wins.
It's funny how you mentioned that the North Carolina State Marshall game, and let's say 14 weekends out of 15, I'd be all about it. I'd be watching that game. That's the kind of game, man, I like to watch, but not that weekend. I didn't care about it. I didn't know what happened that last weekend. So.
Right.
Everything gets ignored when it's OU Texas week.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that one. So, yeah, I'm going to take Duke. I think
think they win.
Yeah, I think Duke wins as well. All right, before we go on to the NFL, anything else college football stuck out at you?
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from Mark, so he's probably not on, but Wyoming was a huge win last week against Fresno. They go to Air Force. They're 10.5-point underdogs.
Ooh.
At Air Force.
Give me Wyoming.
I don't think Air Force is 10.5 points better than Wyoming.
I don't either.
I wouldn't be surprised if Wyoming wins.
Yeah.
So I like that game a lot. That's the one I like the most. That's about it. There's so many of these top 25 games that are bettable and they're good. They're really good games. So I like Wyoming to beat that 10.5-point spread, though.
I don't mind that one. I'm with you. I was kind of doing my prep work on Monday, just trying to kind of recap the weekend, look at some stats and stuff, and I did watch a little bit of that win that for Wyoming, and then I looked at who we got next week. It's like, man, what a reward! Now you got to go to Air Force. They play some tough teams.
That's right. Another one.
They're tough though. Wyoming's a tough group.
They really are. There's two games in the Big 12 I think are interesting as well.
Okay.
Iowa State goes to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a 5-point favorite. I think that could be a surprise.
Give me the Cyclones in that game.
Yeah. And BYU goes to a struggling TCU team.
Yeah.
And 6-point favorites for TCU. I don't know how good BYU is, but I think they could give them fits as well.
That feels like a trap.
Kind of does.
I kind of lean TCU. That feels like that. I don't like that line. That's a silly line.
Maybe right. BYU's not very good either.
I know, and they don't get a lot of respect on these lines every game.
No, they never do.
It's weird.
Tech's a 1.5-point favor over K-State.
Yeah.
I've seen K-State lose both of their games. I don't think they're very good on defense. So I kind of like Tech to win that one.
My overall thoughts on the Big 12, I would bet the underdogs on most of these games unless OU or Texas is involved, because I don't really think there's any difference between the third or fourth best team and the 10th or the 11th best team in this conference.
Yeah, maybe.
And here we are in this West Virginia Houston game. I got up on the screen now if you guys are watching. Game's 10-7 in the second quarter. Houston's going down to tie it, or at least tie it, maybe take the lead. So, and that's like, I guess West Virginia's 3 through 5, one like third, fourth, fifth best team right now.
At the moment.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually are though, but in Houston, they're bad.
They're not very good. No.
Yeah, listen, this Cincinnati team's no good. I'm with Curtis. They're not.
They don't have a quarterback.
It's so weird to say this, what I'm going to get ready to say right now. But if Dylan Gabriel plays average at Cincinnati, OU probably wins by 30.
Yeah, they could have.
I mean, you have even you have to admit that was not a very good game from him.
No, he didn't play very well. No.
So I mean, OU really dominated them. So
they did.
All right. Yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, let's move on to NFL now. We'll go through here. Game getting ready to kick off here. The Broncos and the Chiefs. We got about 10, 15 minutes for this game's going to kick off. Chiefs are at home. They're 10.5-point favorites. I mean, the Broncos are abysmal. There's no other way to put it. Is this going to be any kind of game?
I don't see how it could.
I don't. The Broncos have lost at home to the Commanders, the Raiders, and the Jets. And they gave up 70 to the Dolphins.
And they beat the Bears.
They did beat the Bears. Yeah.
And it's a short week.
Yeah.
And you got to prepare for Patrick Mahomes. Now, I don't think Kelsey's going to play.
I've heard he is going to play.
Well, I don't know. They didn't know for sure. The last I read, but I don't know how reliable it is. They said he wasn't, but that was this morning.
Yeah.
So you got to take the Chiefs. I think they cover. I just don't see how in the world they don't. But these are the kind of games I always miss them as far as covering.
Logic tells you Chiefs are going to cover. I don't know. Yeah, there's a rumor that the Broncos are trying to just unload players. Listen, this is a mess.
It's a mess.
This is worse than last year. So Michael says Chiefs and under. Michael, it's interesting that the over-under line started like 51. It got down to 46.5.
Yeah.
I that kind of tells me the under is what's going to happen here. The
Could
line
be.
goes the under.
The Chiefs defense is pretty good.
It is.
It's underrated.
Yep.
It's pretty good. It's been carrying. I don't want to say it's been carrying them, but it's been really strong these first few games.
I don't think it's going too far to say they are 4-1 because of the defense, though.
Yeah.
I think that's
I thought they played pretty good last week in a tough matchup.
Yeah.
I just don't see they're going to have to play like shit tonight to not cover that.
Yep.
But they do sometimes.
They definitely do. Divisional game, so that you got
it is a divisional game.
Yeah.
Denver, if they have any pride at all, is going to play as hard as they can. I just don't think they can stay with them. I don't see how.
The way the lines moved, Michael, I think you're going to be fine. I think it'll go under 47.5, just based on what the line's done. I think it'll go under. So, but we'll see. I mean, the one bad thing with the Broncos, it's like, gosh, they gave up a lot of points to teams that really shouldn't be giving up a lot.
Well, that would be the only scary thing.
Yeah.
Most of us coming into the season thought, okay, they got a coach and their defense is really good. This year it has been awful. Their defense, what has happened to their defense? It's just been terrible. Offensively, they're a little better. They haven't been just god awful like they were last year.
Yeah.
So that would be the only shaky thing in taking that under is, what if Mahomes goes off and they go nuts and they score a bunch of points? The other side of it is too, say they get way ahead, they may rest him and not play him a whole lot.
Yeah, or get a little bit conservative, things like that. Yeah.
I think the key is how well does the Kansas City defense play?
Yep.
To cash your under, because the Chiefs, come on, they should score 31. They should at least.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Sunday. Let's go over to London. I know you love these games, Papa.
I love them.
You got the Ravens and the Titans. There's been these games have been pretty bad over there. Baltimore 4-point favorite against the Titans here. All right, who you got?
Okay, there have been 3 games over there, I believe, and I've missed every single one of them. So might as well make it 4 in a row.
Yeah. I know.
And by the way, I got to apologize to the Jacksonville owner. I guess he knew what he was doing. He sent them over there for 2 weeks, and they won both games. So, I'm always first to admit when I'm wrong, and I was dead wrong on that one. They looked fantastic. I didn't watch any of it on Sunday, but blow the Bulls out like they did, they were pretty impressive. So he knew what he was doing. Okay, Titans and Ravens. Come on, Baltimore. Can you figure them out?
No.
They've played 5 games. I've missed 4 of them.
Yep.
Can't get the Titans either.
Nope.
So the Titans are better. They should win. Not the Titans. The Ravens are better. They should win. But I don't know if they will. I'm going to go Titans +4, but I think the Ravens might win. I just don't know.
I'll take the Ravens, but I'm with you. It's like at this point, I just don't think you bet them over here. I mean,
they're crazy.
They've been crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the United States and talk about a real barn burner that we're all very excited about.
Really looking forward.
Commanders go to the Falcons. Oh, yes, this is what the NFL is all about. Atlanta's a 2.5-point favorite. I'll tell you what, I thought Atlanta kind of got some things going last week offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they build on it this week. I kind of like the Falcons. Go ahead, though. Who do you like?
I do too. Not going to talk about it much. I don't like Washington. So I'm going to go with the Falcons as well.
Yeah, famous last words again. It's kind of sickening, but I really like the Falcons in this game. So I'm sure they'll play like shit. Oh, can you say trap game or trap line? I should say the Vikings are 1-4, but they're a decent-ish 1-4. The Bears are an ugly 1-4. Minnesota's a 3-point favorite on the road against Chicago. I really think Minnesota does it, but that's a nasty line. I'm not sure.
I'm not either. 2 1-4 teams. You want to waste your money on 2 1-4 teams? I don't. So, and the Bears played great last Thursday night, I guess it was a week ago. Played really well. Had a little extra preparation. I'm going to take the Bears.
I'll take the Vikings. Let's roll on to games that are just I don't know what, this is such a brutal game to pick. The Seahawks are 3-1. They go on the road to take on the Bengals 2-3. And the Bengals have looked sick, but in a bad way, not a good way. They're 2.5-point favorites. The Seahawks, after that opening week loss, played pretty well, but they got to come here. This is a tricky game. I'm taking the Bengals, but I have no confidence in this one either.
Well, they played a little better last week, but look who they were playing. So,
yeah,
big deal. They did win. They had to, and they did. Anytime a team's got their backs to the wall and they have a game they got to win, and they win it, and you got talent like they do, sometimes that's what you need to get going. You come back home, you're taking on a Seattle team that's well-rested, had the week off. So it's a toughie. Seattle plays really well on the road. My head says Bengals, but I don't know whether they beat them. Seattle's played better than they have.
They played a lot better.
So I'm going to take Seattle to win.
All right. Well, I'll take the Bengals again.
Hey, I'm horrible in the NFL, so.
Listen, this week's got some toughies. Now, this one probably not. Although this is the kind of game the Browns will rise up and play their ass off and probably lose by a point. But the Browns are at home against the 49ers. To me, the 49ers, very good. I think they've been the best team in the league through the first 5 weeks. Do they make it a perfect 6-0 here in Cleveland? They're 8.5-point favorites.
Okay, is Watson out?
Watson is questionable.
Well, he must. Okay, if he was out, wouldn't this line be more than that?
Let me read the report. A lingering injury casts some doubt for Watson, but fresh from the bye, it's quite possible we see him behind center for this unfriendly matchup with the top defense. That's what my fantasy outlook says.
Well, I don't think Deshaun has a whole lot of guts. I really don't. And if I was Deshaun, I'd look up there and see who they're playing this week and say, boys, I think I'll take another week off.
I'm hurting just a little bit more than I thought.
Yeah, I tweaked it a little bit. Even though I'm not doing anything in practice, I did tweak it. I was walking down the steps to go out to practice field and kind of tweaked it a little.
Yep.
I think the 49ers are awesome. I think they're playing great. This could be a toughie for them. I don't see them losing. That's a lot of points, maybe. So that would be my only thing. I think they win. Look at that over-under, 37. Not a whole lot of respect for Cleveland's defense or offense.
Well,
yeah, they should win by 8.5. I'm not sure they will.
I want to point something out. And y'all can call me a homer and give me all kinds of shit you want. Curtis just says he has supposedly been cleared since week 4, but is holding himself out.
Okay.
Cleveland, you get good for you. You
That's
get
right.
what you deserve. Because
Absolutely.
you had a guy that had no business playing and played on a shoulder where everybody said he should not be playing, and he played. And you got rid of him for this guy. So you get what you deserve.
That's right.
He was suspended most of last year and ruined your season.
Yep.
Now he's cleared to play and he won't play. So
you're absolutely. It's absolutely right. Mayfield made a mistake by playing.
Baker made a huge mistake by playing because they all fucking turned on him.
Yeah, because he's a gamer.
Yeah,
and he played. And how many guys have ever went to that shithole of a town?
None. And I'm going to tell you right now before you finish it, none. Nobody.
No.
Except
and he
for him.
loved it up there. He became a part of Cleveland.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, he's won the only playoff game they've won since World War II. And I'm so sick of the press, and don't get me going. But you don't mortgage your future on a guy with a character that's, innocent until proven guilty. Right. So, okay, we'll go there. But the character issue is not. There's no doubt about that.
If you go and say you can get an Aaron Rodgers, okay, I
get
it.
Different.
If you go and you get a Matthew Stafford like the Rams did, hey, I get
that's different.
The guy tried everything possible to get everybody involved. All they did was spread rumors about him that aren't true. First of all, they created problems that weren't there.
Yeah.
They created that narrative that wasn't there.
Yeah.
They ran him out of town. and then they replaced him with this guy. So they get everything they deserve.
That's right.
I mean, and that's why they suck as bad as they do year after year. They do shit like this.
They do stupid things, and I just don't think they're ever going to turn it around. I just don't. And
but like I said, Baker made a huge mistake, and he did. He should have sat out, right?
He should have.
It ruined him. It really did. After that third year, he was the darling, and then they were playing really well, and then he got hurt, and his coaches admitted that it affected his throwing, even though it was the non-throwing shoulder. But in the end of the day, at least he got out of that dumpster fire, right?
Yeah.
So, maybe in the end it'll work out for him. But yeah, good for you. Good for you, Cleveland. All right. Panthers and the Dolphins are next. Dolphins 13.5-point favorites here against the Panthers. This shouldn't be much of a game.
Shouldn't be. How can they not cover that? I think the Panthers are by far the worst team.
Well, I don't know, but the Bears are out there. But
I think the Bears beat the Panthers if they played them.
Probably, yeah.
But again, 13.5 is always risky when you're betting the NFL. They should cover, and I'm sure wouldn't bet the Panthers at plus 13.5. I would not do it.
Yeah.
Not in Miami.
No, I wouldn't. You either bet the Dolphins or you don't bet.
Right.
That game. All right, let's talk about the London Jaguars. They are back, quote unquote, sort of kind of a little bit home against Jacksonville. Yeah. They'll take on, or at Jacksonville, I should say, they'll take on the Colts. Both teams sitting there at 3-2. Jaguars 4-point favorites. Can they win outside of London? That's the question.
I don't know. They don't have the home field advantage like they've had. So it's going to be an issue in this game. So, hey, Indy's not bad. They're playing pretty well. They're 3-2. Big game in that division. Huge game. Look at the division record. 2-0 for the Colts, 1-2 for the Jags. That means something down the line if you finish in a tie in the division. I'm going to go ahead and take Jacksonville because they are in Jacksonville. But wouldn't surprise me if the Colts go in there and win.
Give me the Colts. I don't believe in the Jaguars. Give me the Colts. That's just me. I just don't. I know a lot of people think they're really good. I don't buy them yet. So
I get you.
Colts. All right, let's move on. Saints and the Texans here. Saints are a 1.5-point favorite here in Houston. Talk about two teams I can't figure out. It's
no idea.
So you tell me.
I don't. I miss them every week, both of them. Never have been able to get New Orleans since Drew Brees has been gone. Never have. So they got to, they went to New England and killed the Patriots. And by the way, how bad are they? And then, I don't know if they could beat Carolina. And then the Texans in a big game did not come through. They didn't play poorly, but they didn't win. This is just a toss-up game. Look at the line, 1.5. It's just whatever your gut tells you. I think the Saints are a little better, so I'm going to take them at just 1.5, but it wouldn't be I'm not about to bet either one of them.
I think the Saints are a little more advanced at this point, so I'll take them, but yeah, it's not a very flashy game. I do think the Saints go in there and get it done. Well, you mentioned the Patriots. They are on the road this week, take on the Raiders. Raiders 2.5-point favorites. Raiders pretty bad. Patriots are pretty bad. This is a game that you don't really want to watch, I would say, but any thoughts on this one? I guess the Raiders are the play.
Don't you think this line's a little fishy?
It seems it.
I think the Raiders should be favored by more than that. They played pretty well.
Logic tells you that, yeah.
I would think this would be 4 or so. I guess Belichick still gets some, props because of what he's done. Deservedly so.
Yeah.
I'm going Raiders. I'll take that, and I think they cover.
Hard to back the Patriots right now. They look really bad. Yeah. Rams and the Cardinals. The Rams are at home for this one. 7-point favorites. That shouldn't be much of a game, I wouldn't think. But what do you think?
No, I wouldn't think so either. But the Rams have let me down a couple times. I don't know if they're as good as I've thought they are. I don't think they are. 7's a lot of points, but the Cardinals are not very good, so they should. And this might be a game where the Rams actually have more fans than the Cardinals.
I think it's possible. The Rams are going to have a home field advantage.
I think so for the first time. They're going to have more Rams fans there than Cardinals.
Sylvain says 7 is a lot. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot, but the Cardinals are not great. So, I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think they'll keep it close.
They can keep it close.
They've kind of been fighting it, even though they're not very good.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's move on. Eagles and the Jets, 7-point favorites for the Eagles here in New York. Eagles are the only other undefeated team other than the 49ers. Do they stay undefeated, or do the Jets get an upset win?
I thought the Eagles looked really good against the Rams in a game that I thought they might lose. Jets coming off a good win. They're playing hard. They really are.
Yep.
7's a lot of points in New York. I think the Eagles will win. You just got to decide. Is that too many? I think I'm going to take the Eagles to cover.
I think it's too many. I think the Jets are going to cover.
Okay.
I think the Jets are going to cover. I think the Eagles will end up winning the game. I don't know. The Jets, they played the Chiefs pretty darn tough. They didn't play that great in Denver, but they won. So I think they're good enough to cover that 7 points this week. All right, Lions and the Buccaneers, big game. A couple of one-loss teams here. Lions are a 3-point favorite on the road in Tampa. Big game for these two teams. What do you think?
It is. It's a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
Lions are 3-point favorites, deservedly so, I think. Tampa has won some games we didn't think they were going to win. Didn't think they were going to be very good. I don't really know how good they are. I think they can win their division. Man, they get this one. They prove they're pretty good because Detroit's good. I really like Detroit. Tampa's going to be ready. They've had a week off. I'm just going to have to go with my heart, and that's Tampa to win, but I'm not sure they get it done.
Reverse jinx, Papa Dude. Detroit big in this game. That's where I'm going. Reverse jinx. Detroit going to pound them. No chance for Tampa in this game. All right, let's go Giants. I tell you what, you talk about teams that are really bad. The Giants they might be the worst.
There's a lot of bad ones.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They are 14.5-point underdogs at Buffalo for the night game. I mean, Buffalo needs to bounce back after losing last week. What do you think about this game?
That's just a ton of points, but golly, the Giants can't score. You'd think Buffalo would blow them off the field. You'd think.
I got to read this comment. Brian DeBoll to Arkansas after he gets fired this year. That's right. Yeah, he's coming.
After last year when he was the greatest coach that ever walked the earth.
Yeah, he's coming to Arkansas now.
Yeah, sure. Let's go from the big city to Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's quite a culture shock.
Well, to be fair, Buffalo's not great.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're talking about the Giants. The Giants.
Yeah,
the
Giants.
The Giants. Yeah, that would be a culture shock. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
He coached at Buffalo. That's what I got.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Give me the.
By the way, who's going to go to New England after they fire Belichick?
I think Sam Pittman to New England is what I've heard. Jeff Levy to New England.
Jeff Levy. How about Lane Kiffin? Let's get him in the pro.
Lane Kiffin's going to New England.
Yeah, that's a good one. How about Lincoln Riley?
Yeah.
I've heard his name mentioned in some pro jobs.
I think Lincoln Riley will eventually do that, honestly.
Yeah, I do too, because he made the comment that it's so much easier to coach in the pros because of time issues.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, we're both taking Buffalo, I'm guessing. In this one. All right, final one Monday night. Oh, Papa Dude, this is it. This is what we've all been waiting for. The two teams we laugh at the most on this show. The Cowboys and the Chargers are playing each other. Oh, that's so exciting. The game is in LA, but this will be a heavy, heavy crowd.
Oh, it'll be 80 to 20, 80%, maybe 90.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Cowboys are 2-point favorite in this game. It's two teams you can't count on.
No, you can't.
What do you think?
The Dallas team with their quarterback that I saw, whatever night that was, Sunday night. Was it Sunday night? Or was that Monday night?
No, it's Sunday night. Yep.
Sunday night. That is the worst performance I've seen, and I don't know. What was Prescott doing in that second half? He just throwing the ball to the 49ers. It was pathetic. I don't think he's very good, and I never have. Give me the Chargers. This line should be the other way around, in my opinion.
Cowboys, big. Listen, this is going to be, I'm watching this game.
Oh, yeah, this is interesting.
For the fun of it. So Curtis is right. Who can choke this game away the coolest way, right? Like,
they're real good at that. But you know,
be real cool though. I mean,
the deal with the Dallas team, they're not choking when they lose. They're getting killed.
Yeah.
There's a difference. They're not even in the game.
Now they did get killed by a really good team. One
Well,
of the
Arizona is not a really good team.
That's correct.
So they got issues, and I'm seeing kind of a little bit of undercurrent. The former players that played at Dallas are coming out against Prescott, which means some of the players on the team are probably seeing that and feeling the same way. I don't think he's very well liked. I'm just kind of reading into this. I don't have any idea other than what I see.
So if you go back, nobody's going to go back. I shouldn't say this, but when Cooper Rush was the quarterback for Dallas,
yes,
that was last year. Got hurt, or was he hurt, or whatever the hell? 4 or 5.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He's out 4 or 5 games, and that was during the early part of last year. And so we would talk about it on the Daily Show. We talked about it on this show.
Yep.
And I kept saying, I said, the best quarterback is starting now for Dallas. The best quarterback on the team. They need to keep him in. And they played really well when he was there. And then
all the games.
He lost his last start, and then Dak came back, and whatever. To me, Cooper Rush is the quarterback.
I don't think he's even there now.
Is he not?
No, I don't think so. I think they got that Trey Lance dude from San Francisco.
No, I think Cooper Rush is still there.
I think he's the backup though, because he was warming up on the sidelines the other night.
Oh, that's interesting.
He came in the game after they decided that Prescott couldn't play in a high school game. It took him too long to figure that out, but anyway.
Do you think Brandon Staley's going to Arkansas once he gets promoted?
Oh, I don't know. I've heard the Patriots.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
it's crazy. I mean, 2 years ago, Sam Pittman was the greatest coach that has ever walked the earth, and then it's just that's the life of a coach, especially at big time like that. And it's just got to blame somebody.
Oh yeah, you always do.
I mean, Arkansas is not any good, so you do have to put some blame on the coaches for not getting players. There's no question.
Yep.
The name of the game in any level, high school, junior high, whatever, you got to be better than the other team. You have to have better players if you're going to win big. You can upset somebody every once in a while. So, anyway, you got to have players. They don't have them.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line. You got to have guys that are better than the ones that are on the other side of you.
Absolutely. You're right. Sylvain says Cooper Rush signed for 2 years. Exactly.
Okay. I did not hear anything. All I'm going by Sylvain, and you may be totally right, and I'm sure you are.
He is right. I looked it up.
Okay. I just did not hear them saying anything about him. And they made
just because he's there doesn't mean he's the backup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And they made this trade for Trey Lance.
Yeah.
In the second week of the season, I think. And they made a big deal out of it.
I remember that now.
Yeah, and he was, he's just been fantastic when he's played in San Francisco.
He's looked awful.
Let's go get him as well. And while we're at it, why don't you see if New England will dangle Mac Jones? Maybe he can come down there.
Well, okay. So, and again, you see these guys limited amounts of time, and you never really know. But like Jordan Love for the Packers, right? Yeah. Everybody's like, I think he'll be really good. It's like, did anybody watch Jordan Love when he played? I know it was a limited amount of games, but he played in a few games. He was awful. Like, why does anybody think he's any good?
I don't know. And the team around him was better.
A lot better. Yeah. You watch him, and it's like, what? I don't think Jordan Love's very good. It's like, well, no shit. Like, we've seen him. He isn't any good, Yeah. So, they gave up a 4th round pick for Lance. So that's interesting.
4th round pick. Yeah, he's highly thought of.
Yeah, I guess.
And I think he was a number 3 quarterback picked or something.
He was I think they moved up to get him. So 49ers did. So yeah.
And the 49ers don't usually make mistakes like that.
Well,
they're probably thinking, God, I'm glad we got a 4th rounder for him.
Yeah. No shit. Well, and their mistake has been covered up in an improbable way with
that is a story that's not being talked about enough.
Yep. All right, couple of bonus rounds here as we're through the NFL. Right. Phillies and the Braves. Who you got tonight?
Well, I got the Braves.
I got the Phillies.
Wouldn't be surprised. Braves got the pitching matchup tonight.
Braves got the pitching matchup. Phillies got the mojo.
By the way, these playoffs, if the Braves go down, the best team left is Houston.
Or the Rangers.
Or the Rangers. And they're going to go against each other. You're going to have the Phillies and the D-backs in the other side.
Now, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
I have watched probably 70 Diamondback games this year. And I've probably watched about 50 Phillies games.
Yeah, I like the Phillies.
They're good. They're good teams. Now, I'm shocked that they're going to beat the Braves. Well, they haven't beat the Braves yet. I'm shocked that the Dodgers lost. I'm going to be shocked the Braves lose. Yes. But those are two really good teams.
Yeah.
So the D-backs, you can't beat them right now. They're unbelievable.
Well,
so
I am shocked that they beat the Dodgers in 3 straight.
Oh, me too. Shocked.
When the first 2 were in LA, especially.
Yeah. Shocked.
And they killed them.
Yeah. Well, they've been killing everybody. They're a good
team. Baltimore was a no-show.
Yep.
I mean, Texas has been just as good as Arizona.
Yep.
So, wow, it's been crazy. I miss them every night. I can't get any of them right.
Nope, I know it. Blues Stars. Who you got tonight?
Stars.
Blues easy. Blues win easy tonight.
Well, hope.
Oh, I don't know. It'll be. I haven't watched the hockey yet.
It's tough to play in Dallas. That's a tough game. Tough spot.
It definitely is.
Tough opener for sure.
All right, that's it. We got nothing else. You got anything else?
I don't have anything else. I'm exhausted. Had work today.
I know. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Let's see. Updates here. 10-7 West Virginia. Houston driving again. So we'll see if they can tie that game up or take the lead. They have played half an inning in Philly in the Braves lead, or excuse me, 0-0 at the end of the half inning. So
they better get ahead in that game or they're in big trouble.
Yeah, crowd is nuts there in Philadelphia. So
Philly's a good playoff team.
Yep. They're tough to beat.
They are. They're pretty good.
They've kind of got those guys that are they're tough to beat. It's tough to beat them. They're tough, So
they get on a roll and they're hard to beat. I know we said before that series ever started, that's a tough matchup for the Braves.
Yes, we did. And I thought the Braves were going to come back after that game 2, that dramatic win, and game 3 they ought
to be eliminated already. They were lucky to win that game.
They were lucky. They had to come from behind. They got behind 4-0 too.
That's right.
And came back and won that game. So, and I thought that would turn the momentum, but it sure
did
happened.
Too.
Yeah.
So they got smoked last night. So.
It's breaking news here. Taylor Swift in the house tonight. So,
oh my God, I have got to get that turned on.
Everybody go turn that game on. Yeah, it's going to kick off here real quick.
I read somewhere because it's on Prime Video tonight. Prime was just praying that she would be there because they'll get so many more people to watch the game because she's going to be shown on TV so much.
I love it.
Is that not unbelievable?
It's incredible.
It really is.
Incredible, but
I don't know why we should be surprised. But
that's the world we live in. So,
well, unfortunately,
exactly. So we'll see how much she's prevalent on tonight's telecast.
Yes, we'll see her. I hope we see her entering the stadium like we did wherever it was. One Minnesota, wherever they was it Jets, I think. Yeah, New York. Remember they showed her coming into the stadium. That was just awesome.
Sylvain says she's on TV right now. No wonder our ratings are plummeting.
We need to get her on here on the podcast, and let her pick some games. I bet she could get more than I do.
I think, maybe possibly,
especially in the NFL.
Yeah. All right.
She's got a feel for the NFL because she's been to a couple of games now.
She has been. Yeah,
that's right.
She's an expert on it for sure.
She is. I'm glad she's there tonight.
Me too. First play, 9-yard gain. Look out. Here come the Broncos.
I was a little bit worried that relationship was cooling just a little bit because the rumors were it kind of died down some last week.
Didn't hear that.
I did. But I'm glad that she showed back up tonight. It really restores my faith in Taylor.
Yep. I definitely, that feels good to know that. By the way, 2 on for the Phillies in this first inning. So
not good.
Not good.
Nope.
All right. I guess that's it.
I guess we
have nothing else.
It's pretty good, though.
I have to go. Yeah.
Unless you want to talk 20 more minutes about OU to wrap it up.
No, we could.
Oh.
Oh, man. Yeah. It was quite the weekend. No doubt about it.
One more thing. People just, they don't understand the importance of this game. It's just for OU fans, especially. I don't know about Texas as much, but for OU fans, it's life and death. It
Yep.
just.
Yep.
And even though we got slaughtered last year, but the quarterback didn't play. We wouldn't have won anyway, but we didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
It's still stuck in their craws more than it did mine. That game didn't bother me at all.
Oh, it bothered me.
I didn't like that we lost, but I understood perfectly why we lost.
Yeah, to lose the way they lost that's not acceptable.
I know.
Yeah.
But it was just so good to see them play so tough.
Well, I'll say this for the Ricky went to the game, right?
Yeah.
First of all, he'd never even been to Texas, so that was a culture shock for him.
It's no great loss, but anyway.
Well, yeah, immediately he was like, "This is different," but by the time we were, 6 minutes, let's say, into the game, he was like, I have never even been anywhere close to something like this. He's like, this is insanity. I said, I know, that's what this is. It's, you don't really understand it until you go. And it's like, this is not normal. What happens down there? So
it's the only place I've ever been where no one leaves their seat.
Yeah.
If the game's close, no one leaves their seat to go get a Coke, go get a beer, go get whatever.
Nope.
If the game's close, you do not leave your seat.
Constant noise. The stadium's always loud, no matter what happens.
Yep. Yeah. It's just, it's just one of those things you gotta see to believe.
Yeah. I mean, that is the only way to describe it. And it's like, it's just different, man. It's just different. And
crazy.
So you go down there and you realize, oh, this is, God, you gotta be so damn good to play in that game. I mean,
you
really do.
Yeah. And for an Oklahoma fan, not so much you, because OU's been really good since you've been alive.
Yeah.
In that series, I went through a period where we couldn't beat them for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even now, when we are clearly better than they are, which we have been a few years, you're still scared to death of that game.
Oh, 100%.
I've always said our season doesn't start till that game's over.
Yeah.
And then we know what we got. And if we win the game, then we know we got a shot. And that's
they coach like that. They can say whatever they want. That's how Oklahoma coach. Like they everything in that early part of the season was all pointed to that game.
It is. That's the way it is.
And they lie every year and say no, but they always come out with stuff you haven't seen all year for that game.
They'll do that in the spring.
Yep.
They'll be preparing for Texas in the spring before they play them in the fall.
Yep.
They just do. And it's that important. It is the game that makes you or breaks you as a coach.
Yep. You
have to win your share of those.
Yep.
You have to win at least half of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're better off. You better win 60% of them. And Oklahoma State, you have to win 90%.
Well, yeah.
And you're safe if you do. So
I was talking to one of my other OU fans. He goes, well, even if we lose one now, it won't be that bad unless it's Oklahoma State. And I was like, yeah, I mean, if they lose Oklahoma State, we got to fire everybody again. So
yeah,
that's all that is. I mean,
we're one loss away from that happening anyway. So
true. That's true.
And everybody that's ever coached at Oklahoma knows that. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for
that's
sure.
just the way it is.
Yep. So. All right, guys, we're gonna get off here. It's been fun. It's been real. Had been real fun, but we'll
that's
Dudes Who Bet Daily coming up tomorrow. We are 1-1, Papa Dude, going into your game tonight. So we'll see what happens. Magic's Woodbine pick runs second, and then my pick there at Keelan was a winner today.
Don't you think this game's got a shot to be low scoring tonight? Florida and Minnesota.
Yes, talked about it a little bit on the show today. Thought it could be a low-scoring game. Bad news, it is already 1-0. Good news, they have played 10 minutes. So
1-0. We get through the quarter 1-0. We're all right.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. And I think Minnesota, as a team at home, usually can lock you down. So we'll see what happens.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yep. All right, guys, we'll get off here. Hopefully we get a win. Hopefully we're 2-1 coming into tomorrow. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow for Dudes Who Bet Daily. Everybody have a good rest of your night. Enjoy the action. A lot going on with MLB, NHL, and, of course, Taylor Swift on Thursday Night Football. All right, see you guys. Nope, that's not it. There we go.
Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports. It's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports. Time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.